I'm Morgan from Pack Hacker, and in this video we're taking a look at the ORTLIEB Commuter-Daypack, which I've been testing for 2 weeks. If you find this video helpful, hit subscribe so that we can continue making content that helps you travel smarter. Let's jump in. So the external materials are a PU-coated nylon fabric, which feel incredibly protective and super rugged. This backpack is waterproof. However, it's important to keep in mind that that basically means that it'll last and stand up to a lot of different weather. And while you theoretically can submerge it, that's definitely not recommended. Even though it is waterproof, it'll definitely stand up to rain, snow, whatever. But there is, like, on the front pocket, a hole specifically, which I assume is for draining, but I'll get into that in a little bit. All of the seams are high frequency welded just to help provide an extra level of proofing to make sure that no water gets inside. And then on the front, as you can see, ORTLIEB's logo making it waterproof, and is also a very reflective material, which is really nice for visibility, especially at night. And then on the shoulder straps, it has stitching for more visibility as well. And then, let's see, the attachment points right here are really nice for adding like a rear light or for storing a U-lock, which is always really nice as well. And they feel super strong, very, very rugged. And overall, the external materials feel super protective and super strong. And because of the PU-coated nylon fabric, it does have a little bit of a tarp-like sound, especially like when handling it. So just something to keep in mind there. There's only one grab handle right here on the top, and it is just a simple nylon fabric. It's not the most comfortable, but it'll definitely do and works when just kind of maneuvering the bag around. It also works as a place to hang it up on a hook. So taking a look at the harness system on the back, the shoulder straps are surprisingly thin with very minimal padding. They're claiming they're air permeable, which is why they're so thin, as it helps with breathability. And despite being so thin with no padding, they are really comfortable, especially with like long or heavier gear and for like longer periods of time. There is a chest strap that connects with a simple plastic buckle, and it can be adjusted on like 4 separate areas basically for a little bit more customization. It is completely removable too, which is nice. So like if you don't need it, you can just get rid of it. And I found that these also can pass as decent attachment points for extra gear. And then there's also a waist strap here that is also fully removable just by feeding this through, and it connects with a simple plastic buckle. So this is what it looks like on. It's very comfortable despite being basically full of gear. The shoulder straps do a really good job of distributing the weight, and their super thin design may not be for everybody, especially if you prefer more padding, but I found that they're still really comfortable. And the air channel on the back has a dense foam padding, and the included space in between each of the foam padding adds just like a little bit of visibility as well. Or not visibility, breathability. The only secondary compartment on this pack is here on the side, which is really nice for over the shoulder access. I found that this placement is pretty perfect just for not only getting access into the pocket by throwing it over your shoulder, but it also allows you to like see inside, which is nice for trying to figure out what you're trying to get without letting everything else kind of fall out. The pocket itself is pretty spacious. It kind of see it here with this black lining right here. that takes up just about the entirety of the compartment. And then, as I mentioned previously, there are 2 holes here, which I'm assuming are for either breathability or drainage holes. And so that's why I was saying like this pocket specifically is not waterproof, because it will allow water through it. But in this pocket, I like to store like everyday essentials, like items that I might want quick access to, like gum, lip balm, a pair of AirPods, and my wallet. And so as you can see, it's got a decent amount of space to it, but this pocket also, because of the material of this bag, there is no stretch. So even with this amount of stuff, it was starting to get a little bit tight. So just something to keep in mind. And in terms of protection, this pocket does have like an AquaGuard coating to it to prevent water from getting in if you do get caught out in the rain, which is nice. The main compartment is accessible with this roll top design, and it can be secured with this G-hook, which is super smooth and easy to adjust, and it really allows you to cinch it down to prevent it from going anywhere. And it also ensures that no like moisture from like rain or snow gets inside. And so the G-hook can be hooked onto 3 separate areas. That way you can kind of, expand for as much gear as you want to include in here. And then at the top, there's this plastic piece right here, which just kind of helps ensure that when you fold it down, it's like nice and secure. And then you just kind of, in traditional roll top fashion. But this still allows for a nice amount of storage and space in this main compartment here. So inside I have a jacket, a water bottle, because there is no dedicated water bottle compartment. Let's see. A tech pouch and a portable power bank. And then the rest is kind of just an open space, but one of the nice things about this compartment is it includes a dedicated laptop sleeve, which attaches to the top and the bottom. And while at first I didn't really need the bottom, I would just primarily attach it to the top. Having that extra security kind of just ensures that nothing gets jumbled around, especially if you're like biking or hiking. And so when not in use, it just uses this hook and loop fastener, and you can take the entire sleeve out. And this also gives it, the backpack, a decent amount of like structure and form. And so here you can kind of see the bottom piece that uses the same hook and loop closure to attach itself to the wall of the bag. And then inside here is a nice amount of organization. I was able to fit my 16-inch MacBook Pro in this laptop sleeve. And the entire sleeve is pretty nicely padded, so it provides a lot of nice protection. And because it's kind of like attached to the wall of the backpack, it kind of lifts it so that when you set it down, you're not setting your device directly on the floor, which is also nice in terms of protection. And then in front of the laptop sleeve is a zippered pocket, and this pocket spans the entire length of the sleeve, and inside has like another degree of organization. So in here, it's pretty nice and spacious. I have a hard drive, and then if you can kind of see in here, there are 2 slip pockets for smaller gear. And so I have just a wall brick and a pen and a notebook. And so these 2 have like a little bit of an elastic gusset to prevent items from falling out. And it works really well with, especially with smaller items, keeping them up closer towards the top. That way they don't fall all the way down to the bottom. And that's basically it for the laptop sleeve. It's nice that you can kind of remove this and like set it down on a table next to you if you're at like a coffee shop or in a restaurant or even like at the beach. And Then the rest of this main compartment is basically just like an empty space for you to store all of your gear. Here is where you attach the laptop sleeve. And so I found that it is a lot easier to put the laptop sleeve in first and then put the rest of your gear in. Just something to keep in mind. So there you have it, the ORTLIEB Commuter-Daypack. Thanks for keeping it here at Pack Hacker, your guide to smarter travel. We'll see you in the next video.